Hello friends, and welcome to the channel. Today, we're going into one of the most exciting and debated battles in comic book history. This is round 2 of our big comparison tournament. As you remember, in round 1, we had a superhuman battle, Superman versus Sentry. And based on your votes, Superman used his absolute power to successfully defeat Sentry and advance to the next stage. But today, we're going for a battle at the level of genius humans. A fight between the two most intelligent and wealthiest people in the comic book world. Batman from DC versus Iron Man from Marvel. Remember, to participate in this tournament and decide which character wins, you need to go right now to the community section, polls, of the channel and vote for your favorite character. But before you vote, I suggest you watch the video until the end so you can make the best decision with a better and more complete understanding of each character. But friends, remember that this poll is based on the power of each character, so try to vote fairly, without bias, and only based on the character's power. Now, let's see who emerges victorious when these two face each other. Well, friends, let's start with the Knight of Gotham, Batman. This extraordinary character was created in 1939, during the golden age of comics. His first appearance was in Detective Comics number 27. His creators were two geniuses, writer Bill Finger and artist Bob Kane. Although Bob Kane often received more credit, today we know that Bill Finger played an essential role in shaping the idea of Batman. Bruce Wayne, a wealthy boy whose parents, Thomas and Martha Wayne, were killed by a robber right before his eyes. This great tragedy defined Bruce's entire life. Instead of running from his wealth, he used it to travel the world for years and become a master in science, detective work, and every martial art possible. Batman is the symbol of vengeance and justice in Gotham. He has sworn that what happened to him will not happen to anyone else. He has no superhuman powers. His strength comes purely from his unyielding will, tactical genius, and his ability to plan for every possible scenario. Now we go to his opposite from the Marvel world, Iron Man, Tony Stark. Iron Man entered the scene a bit later. Iron Man was created in 1963 during the Silver Age of comics. His first appearance was in Tales of Suspense number 39. His main creator was none other than the Marvel legend Stan Lee, along with writer Larry Lieber and artists Don Heck and Jack Kirby. Tony Stark, a playboy billionaire and engineering genius, was kidnapped in Vietnam, or, in modern stories, Afghanistan. He was forced to build weapons for his captors, but instead, with the help of Dr. Yinsen, he built the first metal armor to escape and survive. His initial armor was born with a shrapnel threatening his heart and an arc reactor. Iron Man is the symbol of technology in service of humanity, and redemption and evolution. If Batman represents physical readiness, Iron Man represents technical readiness. He is always upgrading and evolving to cope with new threats.
Well, friends, now we get to the main point. We're going to examine the powers of these two characters from DC and Marvel. Bruce Wayne is at the peak of human abilities. He is the best athlete, the best martial artist, and the best detective in the world. Batman has unyielding endurance and willpower against pain, fatigue, and psychological damage. Tony often uses bionic and nanotechnologies for rapid healing to compensate for his physical weaknesses. Tony Stark without the armor is just an ordinary man with a vulnerable heart. Batman, as a man, is much stronger and fitter. But Tony, with the armor, completely transcends his weak body. Let's look at some of Iron Man's capabilities. Repulsor rays. These are Tony's main weapons. They fire plasma energy, whose power is not comparable to Batman's big guns. This plasma can melt concrete or puncture ordinary armor. Iron Man's armor can create energy shields whose damage tolerance is much higher than Batman's titanium armor plating. Tony can fly at supersonic speeds. Batman, at best, arrives at the battlefield in a fighter jet. In air combat, Iron Man has the absolute advantage. Iron Man has hundreds of missiles, lasers, and specialized weapons to deal with any threat, while Batman relies only on non-lethal or limiting tools. In terms of raw power, destruction, and offensive capability, Iron Man, due to the arc reactor, has a completely decisive advantage. Let's look at their genius and intellectual level. Tony Stark is the god of reaction. He can analyze input data in a fraction of a second and change his armor automatically or by command. Tony is evolving during the battle. Bruce Wayne is the god of precognition. He is always 10 steps ahead of his opponent. He has not only Plan A, but also plans B through Z ready to defeat his enemy. Batman is a master at reading body language and the psychological weaknesses of his opponent. He knows Tony Stark's ego can force him to make mistakes. Tony is faster in the moment, but Batman has made the final decision before the fight even started. This means Batman's advantage in battles involving prep time is undeniable. Both characters have built armors designed for cosmic or unstoppable threats. Batman's armors, Justice Buster / Hellbat, the Justice Buster was designed to defeat all members of the Justice League, including Superman, in case they were mind-controlled. This armor is designed for smart, prolonged battles. The Hellbat is even stronger, but it requires energy from Batman's metabolism. Iron Man's armors, Bleeding Edge or Extremist armors, are pure nanotechnology that integrate the armor into Tony's body. He also built armors like the God Killer, which in theory can defeat cosmic beings. Both can build godlike armors, but Tony's armors are more designed to increase power, and Batman's armors are more designed to neutralize the opponent's strengths. Well, now let's look at the weaknesses of both of these guys, starting with Batman. Batman is just a regular human. He can be taken down by a bullet or a strong blow. His armor provides protection, but his heart and vital organs are not as resistant to large explosions as Tony's armor. Batman never kills, and this is his biggest strategic limitation. In acute battles, this rule forces him to seek neutralization instead of elimination of the threat, which wastes valuable time. The trauma of his parents' death is the core of his existence. Smart enemies, like the Joker, can use this emotional weakness to destroy his focus. And now let's go over Iron Man. Iron Man's armor is everything. He is vulnerable without it. Any strong electromagnetic pulse or specialized hacking attack can shut down his armor and turn him into a motionless pile of metal. The arc reactor is the heart of his armor. If this power source is destroyed or blocked, his armor shuts down. Tony Stark is incredibly smart, but he often suffers from hubris and narcissism. He thinks his technology has a solution for every problem, and this can lead him to take foolish risks.
All right, folks, we've reached the point where we have to put our judging caps on and announce the outcome of this historic battle. We saw Batman, who was the symbol of willpower, strategy, and foresight. And facing him, we saw Iron Man, who was the embodiment of technology, endless firepower, and momentary evolution. In this battle, there's no simple answer. But if we look at the track record and powers of both characters, Bruce Wayne always thinks one step ahead of Tony Stark, because he knows he's human and has to plan for every mistake. But Tony Stark is often caught by surprise because of his hubris and over-reliance on his armor. Furthermore, Iron Man has no special power without his armor, but Batman is a master martial artist. Therefore, based on this analysis, in a battle with full preparation, the upper hand would be with the genius of tactics, which is Batman. But, as you know, this tournament belongs to you. Go right now to the community section, polls, and decide with your votes who among these two geniuses is the final winner of Round 2. And now, get ready for the smashing battle of Round 3. After this strategic fight, we're going into a completely godly and mythological battle. In round 3, we are pitting two characters against each other who not only have superpowers, but have roots in ancient myths and are among the strongest characters in their respective universes. From the DC Universe, the Amazonian princess and goddess of truth, Wonder Woman. And from the Marvel Universe, the god of thunder and son of Odin, Thor. This is an epic fight. Divine sword and shield versus magic hammer and lightning. Absolute feminine power versus Norse mythological power. Who has more destructive power? Who is more immune to the other's magic? To see the complete analysis of this battle, you'll have to wait for the next video. So, subscribe to the channel right now and hit the bell so you don't miss the analysis of the Wonder Woman vs. Thor fight as soon as it's released. Until another video, goodbye, and we're waiting for your votes.